Hello, this is Robert Hann with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Oak Park, Illinois. I'm here with Jody Gerut of Prosperity Home Mortgage and wanted to talk to you today a little bit about home mortgages and what the market is like and where Jody is seeing what his business is doing. So, Jody, welcome.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing mortgages?
I started with mortgages Halloween 2016.
Halloween 2016. Wow, that's pretty impressive.
It was a memorable day.
I can imagine. And you've been serving primarily the Oak Park, Chicago areas since that time?
Primarily. I was doing loans all over the country with the federal bank and went to the mortgage bank world 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
So a little bit different. The three categories of lenders.
Yeah.
Broker.
Yep.
Which is buyer meet big bank.
Okay.
With that person's money not in the deal, just taking it in true broker situation.
Yeah.
The middle one is mortgage bank.
Yep.
Or correspondent. Those are
Okay.
synonymous. Those are the ones that process, underwrite, close, fund in-house, and then your loan gets placed with a servicer afterwards.
Okay.
That's category 2. Category 3 is big bank. So you walk into your bank that's on the corner, and they've got your accounts, and you're saying to yourself, which is what a lot of people do, they've got my money, I wonder if they'll give me a loan.
Okay. And so which one of those do you do?
I was in category number 3, where I was
Okay.
at a big bank.
Yep.
Now I'm in category 2.
Okay. That makes sense. So, and so basically, if someone is looking to buy a home, they'll often need a mortgage to finance the deal, and
Yep.
they might call a couple people to learn about the rates and stuff. What kind of walk us through that process? What happens when someone gives you a call or emails you and says, "Hey, Jody, I'm looking to buy a home." What do you do?
Sure. Well, I mean, the first thing we're going to do is talk about what their goals are, sort of
Okay.
that holistic sort of approach.
Right.
What's a mortgage going to do and impact you, how else is it going to impact you?
Okay.
I want to hear about what the house is going to do to their lives,
Right.
how it's going to change.
Right.
Sort of get into that feel good part of the future transaction, because
Okay.
the mortgage part is kind of boring, but it's significant for most people. It's the biggest purchase of their lives, maybe saved for their student loan.
Right.
So it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a significant investment that they're making, and so when they're calling you, you're trying to get to know them a little bit better, kind of knowing what their hopes and dreams are, and from there, kind of working with them to get them into the right mortgage for them.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
And there's a process there. I mean,
Yeah.
I always try to keep it, friendly, conversational. In the background, I'm going through my checklist. My checklist is what everybody's checklist should be, which is the 4 main areas of a loan approval: credit,
Okay.
assets, debt, income. You can remember it if you like Cadillacs. CADI. CADI. Credit, assets, debt, income.
Ah.
And depending on how the conversation goes, we might start about, talking about their jobs. I might ask them right away, is there something that you're immediately concerned about? Do you have an immediate question for me? Because sometimes people hold off on getting pre-approvals because they really don't want to know the answer to a question that they've had.
Right.
And so I introduced that up front. Do we have any questions right away?
So some of it might be revolve around their credit ratings. They might not know their credit. They might have had some bad experience in the past, or they've never even looked at their credit. How is that one of the things that you see often? Or?
You're barking right up the right with the potential sort of questions that people may have.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what my credit score is.
Right.
I have, I was on the phone with an attorney a few days ago. He's got $300,000 in law school debt. He didn't know.
Wow.
He didn't know whether that was going to impact him or not.
Yeah.
But he's been wanting to buy a house for 6 months.
Right.
So he just needed to. I introduced the questions. Is there anything that you want to know right away? He's like, yes. And so it's just different for everybody. Some people had collections. Some people have had, more turbulent credit histories in the past. Maybe a bankruptcy. Any number of things, depending on on the market you serve. You
Okay.
know, we're in Oak Park, we're in Illinois, and our marketplace is diverse, and
Right.
we've got quite a bit of different histories and different types of borrowers here. So we have to maintain our flexibility and understanding.
Is there a particular like credit range that you're looking at?
So you can get a loan for a home with a credit score as low as 580. If you
Okay.
really searched, you could
Uh-huh.
get a home loan for credit as low as 500. Although the down payment's going to be 10%.
Wow.
You can get a loan with your credit as low as 580 with 3.5% down, as long as the system, which is checking your credit specifically, says that based on your credit, you're good with 3.5% down. It might be 5%, it might be higher. You just have to see.
Okay.
But in the end, I think when someone's credited as that low, there's usually a reason. And if we can solution right away for the reasons to go away and get their credit up a little bit higher, especially if you've got some time,
Right.
that's going to save them potentially thousands of dollars in interest, because your interest rates, your mortgage interest rates are directly tied to your credit score.
Okay.
So,
Right.
you know, to the extent that we can get that number up, you have to play the credit score game. You know,
Yep.
there's an explanation for everything, but at the end of the day, your life is cheaper the higher your credit score is.
Sure. Sure. Because you don't have, you probably don't have a lot of debts that you're paying and at high interest rates and whatnot.
Yeah, it's a computer algorithm. The higher
Yeah.
the higher your number, the less of a credit risk you are.
Right.
And so you have to play the game and get the credit score as high as possible and maintain it.
And then assets you're looking at, like whether they own their cars outright or if they have other property or...
Sure. We're looking at real estate owned. We're looking at their liquid bank
Yep.
accounts, their checking and savings account. I in particular, we've got a program at Prosperity called Accelerate.
Okay.
Accelerate is when you get automatic income, employment, and asset verification up front. It's very, very simple. It's about as simple as it gets. We have people all the time whose their sole document that they provide to us is their driver's license.
Really?
That's it. Yeah.
So I just take out my wallet, give you my driver's license, and you get all the information off with it.
If they connect their bank accounts,
Okay.
and if their bank account if their banks participate with us,
Okay.
you can become Accelerate eligible. So when I'm talking to somebody, I'm asking where they do their banking.
Right.
I'm asking, is it this bank? Is it that bank? If it's a big bank that I know is connected with our mortgage application, it's conceivable that we have an Accelerate eligible file.
What's the advantage of using the Accelerate program?
Just the simplicity of it. I mean, it's a very, very simple process. If you've got a buyer who's, let's say is a $500,000 property, 20% down, $400,000 loan, right? And the house is, and the purchase price was well negotiated by the buyer's agent. So 500,000 is a fair price. It wasn't a stretch.
Right.
And let's say that person is Accelerate eligible.
Mm-hmm.
This is a real-time scenario. It's a real-life scenario.
Okay.
You could conceivably...
You know these people.
I know the people. They actually exist. Multiple files like this.
Right.
You could conceivably have buyers who provide you nothing other than their driver's licenses, having their income done already, their assets done already, their employment done already, as well as have the appraisal waived.
Okay.
So all the buyer actually needs to do is go get insurance. And then we get the title work. And we're done.
Wow.
Yeah.
And how quickly is that turnaround?
If we can hit all those milestones, the title work is going to be, and the title is going to be on the seller side.
Sure.
Mostly they get. It's not going to be anything we do. We just request it.
Okay.
As soon as it comes in, it's in.
Mm-hmm.
We clear all the internal items that we do, which are 4 or 5 things, and the loan's done.
And you still need an appraisal, though, right?
The appraisal, if it's waived.
Okay.
It's if it's appraisal waiver eligible, which is a system generated thing. That's where all the back data from past houses that are similar are being warehoused with data. And if it's a similar enough house to where the system can automatically verify that 500,000 in our example was good enough, they don't need an appraisal. They're saying, look, we don't need a human being to go out there. we can see based on the data that 500,000 is a fair price.
Okay.
And Fannie Mae is very, when I say Fannie Mae, I mean non-government loans, non-FHA, non-VA loans.
Yeah.
They're very much, they very much treat everybody like adults. They start with the idea that a seller who's an adult, who's represented, and a buyer who's an adult, who's represented, negotiated and came to a price. And the price, the marketplace is based on buyer and seller.
Sure.
And so they start there.
Okay.
And if there's enough automated data to say, yeah, that property's worth this amount of dollars, and that's what the contract price is, you're done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds simple.
It can be. It can be very simple. It can be, you know, there can be more layers in a philo dough too. I mean, it just depends on the transaction.
Okay. So, you know, if someone wanted to get their mortgage, you know, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, you can give me a call, 630-302-2700, or you can go to my website, jodygerut.com, click apply now. It's Gerut is my last name, but it's pronounced Gerut.
Okay.
Misspelled at Ellis Island on my
Really?
dad's side from Poland. Yeah.
That's a whole
It's a
other
whole other
conversation.
conversation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to add or anything? Or
No, I don't think so. I mean, I enjoyed the chat though. This was fun. We can do this regularly, I think. If you like.
I'd like that. We should do it again, definitely. So this is Robert Hann with Berkshire Hathaway Home Services in Oak Park with Jody Gerut from Prosperity, doing your home mortgages. I'm happy to be your realtor. If you ever need anything, give me a call, 847-567-3518. I'm also happy to send you a free market report as well if I can. So have a great day and talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.